Today on Play to Win, it's time for the big game in Jacksonville. We'll break down all the angles of this top 10 matchup between the Gators and the Dogs, of course, plus the guys weigh in on what stands out halfway through this NFL season. It's all that and more on the fastest 30 minutes in television, football's Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by Montlick & Associates. Our attorneys know what it takes to win. Xfinity. And Beaver Toyota. We're here to wow you. Welcome to football's Play to Win with Falcons All-Pro defensive end Chuck Smith, Falcons All-Pro offensive tackle Bob Whitfield, Play to Win expert Jeffrey the Edge Schechter, player medical and injury reports with Dr. Sadiq Al-Amin, Falcons All-Pro wide receiver Terrence Mathis, and your host, Nikki Williams. Today's hometown team report is being brought to you by Montlick & Associates. Our attorneys know what it takes to win.
Good morning, Atlanta. Happy game day. Thank you for tuning in with us on another week of Play to Win with Jeffrey the Edge Schechter, Bob Whitfield, Terrence Mathis, and of course, Chuck Smith. It's my favorite day of the football season because it's time for the biggest cocktail party of the year, Georgia, Florida. I'm super pumped about it. And, you know, Kirby Smart's always got something to say about the game, but it seems like right now he feels like he just wants more from his receivers. Let's check this out.
I think, again, at wideout, it's tough because at wideout there's not been a core group that's just been there every game and been able to do it. Cager's the one guy you can make a case has made some plays when he's been available and made some plays on 50-50 balls. We've got to be able to do that because of the way people play us. We're going to have to continue to do that.
Well, here we go. We're in week 9, and you still haven't found that guy that can stretch the field or be the go-to guy. We talked about it in week 1. We knew they was going to have trouble coming into this season. We knew they were going to be able to run the football, but we knew that they were going to have trouble throwing the football. So if they haven't found out and found an answer right now, they're going to be in trouble.
The coach doesn't know how good his passing game is. And it's, you know, like Terrence said, it's a little late in the season, and we're going to have to find out this week.
Well, I knew how good it is because I was going Jake Fromm for Heisman.
You were.
Jake Fromm is not going for that Heisman. But
how's
the Swift show is going to be 8-man fronts trying to run the ball. Swift has to do it.
Jake Fromm's now at the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah, both of these teams have their backs up against the wall. You know, it's a win or go home when you're talking about the college football playoff. So good luck to both of the teams. That's very hard for me to say. As someone that went to Georgia, I can say that I sometimes didn't even know there was a game going on. whole cocktail party thing. Now, switching gears, we'll talk about over at Tech. It's an alumni game. It seems like Jeff Collins is really leaning on his alumni to show up for the game. Let's listen to what he had to say.
I know it's homecoming on Saturday. Really excited to see the Georgia Tech fan base, the alumni come out and support these guys because they fight so hard. They have such great attitudes. They do things the right way in the classroom, off the field, and on the field as well. So just they deserve every bit of support, energy, enthusiasm.
Can't say they're not classy.
Right. Well, we know they're classy. You know, the thing I like what Jeff Collins is doing, he's rallying the troops. This is all about bringing all the alumni together, and that's huge when you're talking about building your program. I like what he's doing, but he's got a tough team going against Pitt. Pitt still has an opportunity to represent the ACC championship, but I like what he's doing.
It seems like he should have said free bacon since he had the Waffle House stuff right there. Free bacon. Everybody come back for free bacon.
But anything could happen with Pitt. You know, Pitt beat UCF, but they lost to a very mediocre Miami team last week, so anything can happen.
I like what Jeff Collins is doing. He's changing the culture there at Georgia Tech from the Paul Johnson era where you went to sleep every game to now it creates some excitement, and I like it.
All right, well, we're going to have more on the Dogs coming up in a little bit, and of course the Georgia-Florida game. But coming up next, the college football playoff poll comes out this week. Let's hear why it will be SEC heavy. Stay tuned on Play to Win.
On or off the field, we all have rules to play by. But what happens after a serious car crash? When the insurance company won't play fair? At Montlick & Associates, we know injury law, and we know what it takes to win. After all, we've been winning in our field for over 35 years. If you've been injured, we're here to help. Simply dial #WIN from your cell phone for your free consultation. That's #946.
Oh my God. Try the new Buffalo Chicken Burrito at Moe's today.
I love that one.
I love it.
I love it.
It's easy to fall in love with a new Chevy.
I love this one too.
And this month is the perfect time to see why.
Wow.
I love it.
That's my next truck.
Find your reason to fall in love with a new Chevy and get a great deal all month long.
I love it.
I'm gonna go buy a Chevy.
Get 20% below MSRP on all 2019 Silverado double cab pickups. That's over $97.50 on this Silverado. Or during the Black Friday sales event, get 20% below MSRP on other select 2019 models.
Oh my God. Try the new Buffalo Chicken Burrito at Moe's today.
Today's SEC and ACC report is being brought to you by your Atlanta Nissan dealers.
Welcome back to Play to Win. Let's talk about some college football now, and we'll start off with the ACC. Let's take a look at today's schedule.
NC State, Wake Forest. People quietly, Wake Forest is having a good season, man. Remember, this program's only one loss, doing some good stuff.
Notre Dame's trying to recover from getting their head kicked in, and I think they're on their way down because of it.
Is it sad that FSU Miami has kind of lost their luster? I was not around for the big rivalry that was that in the 90s.
Those
but
were great games.
Yeah.
Usually the winner of that game was number one.
But that was back in the day, no playoff system and all that, so rankings were a big thing for that matchup.
But I think what's also affected this rivalry, number one, is people coming into Florida and getting these great players. Georgia getting the great players there, and also teams like Central Florida jumping there, stealing them a 4-star here and there. So Florida, the dynamics of it has changed. So the Miami-Florida State, the entire rivalry is looked upon differently now because they ain't getting the players like they used to.
I think it's the round robin of the coaching staff. You keep changing coaches every 3 years whatsoever, so you're not getting stability right there. So you're not getting the fan base and the excitement about football from these two organizations.
And I'll say one more thing.
Yeah.
Just one more thing.
One more.
A lot of kids, when you look at the hype and all the things that go into it, all the swag, Miami and Florida State, they're not doing it like that. So to me, down in Miami, they don't have a great facility. Miami's facility is average, so people want to see all that, all the facility in Miami, the dorms and all the things that go with it. Even at Florida State, it's just not like the SEC teams. It's just not like Oregon. It's just not like Clemson.
Put some glitter on it.
If you take Clemson out of the ACC, the ACC is really not much better than the AAC.
Well, let's take a look at the SEC and those matchups today.
Oh, I love that one. Where's that one? UAB at Tennessee?
Oh, yeah.
The one-game winning streak balls. Man, come on.
You think they're going to win this one?
Oh, that's easy. I'm guaranteeing a win.
UAB got a good program.
I'm guaranteeing a win over UAB.
Guaranteed?
I mean, like
Pruitt turning around the Bolts program?
Has he turned around, Jeff? We just talking about that?
I think the Tennessee, they could run out the schedule.
I ain't got to say nothing.
They looked great last week.
See what I'm saying?
They beat up South
Let
Carolina.
me speak for the Vol for Life.
Here we go.
Yes, Pruitt has turned them around.
Okay.
Well, that's I'm the only one up here.
Well, we've got some exciting news around the corner. Let's throw it to our college football showdown of the week.
Today's Showdown of the Week is being brought to you by AT&T. More for your thing, that's our thing.
And drum roll, it's all about the AP Top 10 poll. Let's take a look at that right now. Agree, disagree, what say you here?
Well, I agree 100%. Penn State, I like where they are. But the interesting thing to me, though, I like Oregon ahead of Florida, but it's going to see, depending on what Florida does this week against Georgia, I'm really big on Oregon. They barely lost to Auburn. So this team, to me, they're the best.
But they barely beat Washington State also last week.
Well, this guy is speaking Pac-12 all of a sudden. Look at this guy.
They had Utah up there
I
also.
give a shout out to Jam Pony.
I love me some Pac-12. I love me some Pac-12. Especially when especially when nothing else to talk about.
What are the chances of the SEC having multiple playoff teams here?
I think it's a good shot.
Well, when you say multiple, what are you talking about? More than
100?
Two?
Yeah. Well, a multiple is more than one.
Well, I don't know. You got to be very analytical with that.
Well, I was being analytical with that answer.
Because Penn State could ruin everything for everybody.
Well, they could, guys. When we return, our focus turns to Jacksonville. Find out who holds the edge and what the difference maker could be for the Dogs. It's all that and more coming up on Football's Play to Win.
In the mood for a taste of the Old Southwest? Hardee's new Southwest Patty Melt comes with a hotter, juicier Black Angus thick burger, pickled jalapenos, melted pepper jack cheese, and zesty Santa Fe sauce. Yippee-ki-yay. Hardee's new Southwest Patty Melt.
Oh, I'm glad you found it.
Oh, we were just happy to get some time away.
You're the first couple to try our new bed and breakfast bundle. It's bed and breakfast in the same room. You wake up to the smell of coffee and bacon, made by a private chef, right there.
So we're sleeping in the kitchen.
Well, I'm sure you'll write it better than that for the review.
Stuck in a bad bundle? Get a great one. Bundle AT&T Fiber and DirecTV and get a $100 reward card. Limited availability may not be in your area. More for your thing. That's our thing. Call 1-877 only ATT.
We've owned a few different houses through the years. Your company was absolutely the best. They were so professional. Everything they did, they didn't get a mark on a wall or anything else. It was clean, it was friendly, and it was fun. And most of the time, moving is not fun. I'm going to give a great recommendation to Atlanta Peach Movers. It's always on time and it's always professional. There is no tree in Atlanta Peach Movers.
To schedule your move, call Atlanta Peach Movers today.
Need help waking up, cowboy? Well, say good morning to Hardee's Southwest Omelet Biscuit and Burrito. With cheesy eggs, bacon, and just enough jalapenos to make you sit up in the saddle. Pick up either for just $3. Now at Hardee's.
Today's University of Georgia Report is being brought to you by Beaver Toyota. We're here to wow you.
Georgia's one of the best teams in the country. Got a offense that can put up a lot of points. They got I think the top defense in the league, and so very, very talented team at every position, front to back to front, and be a big challenge for our guys.
All right, guys, it is time for college football's 97th edition of its greatest rivalry. Chuck, how big is this rivalry?
This is Georgia's biggest rival. People think Georgia Tech. It's Georgia Tech. You got to be rivals because you're in the same state. You're rivals with Florida because of the history of the wins and losses, the Tebows, the Lindsey Scotts, and some of the great calls that you've heard over the years, Georgia, Florida. This is the biggest rivalry, and I'm going to tell you right now, it gets no bigger because this game is going to decide the SEC East.
And it will.
And what Coach was talking about, Dan Mullins, when he was talking about the defenses, I think he was trying to just be nice to the opponent because he got a pretty good defense, and he's getting some defensive players. Zuniga's coming back from injury, so his full arsenal going to be on display, and they can really get after that passer in Jake Fromm.
Well, what I'm looking for, let me break it down a little bit when it comes to Florida's offense. Kyle Trask, remember, he never even started in high school. Right now, Dan Mullen, this offense is running a little bit almost like they do at Mississippi State. He's throwing the ball with effectiveness, and this is the best wide receiver and skill set that Georgia's going to see from a secondary standpoint. Florida right now, they're absolutely incredible on offense. Defensively, they're getting healthy with the big boys coming back, but Georgia's also getting healthy with their big guys on the offensive line. This is going to be a great battle because there's so many great matchups in this game.
And Florida was leading the fourth quarter against LSU. So,
how do you pick the game?
Oh, I'm picking Florida.
You're picking Florida?
Sorry. I just see defensively, the biggest key, let me tell you why I'm picking Florida, because Georgia is limited when it comes to throwing the ball. Remember, last game it was messy in Kentucky, so Fromm couldn't throw it. But the game before that, there were 3 interceptions with Jake Fromm, but 2 of them wasn't his fault. The only one that was his fault when he's trying to throw the ball out of bounds. But so, to me, it comes down to can Jake Fromm throw the ball, and guess what Florida got in the secondary? Some absolute ball hawk, NFL caliber cornerbacks. Jake Fromm, he can throw the ball. I don't know, but I'm going with Kyle Trask and this Florida offense and the dynamics of their skill set.
One for Fromm here. One for Fromm in Georgia. Georgia, Fromm. Fromm, this is your game, baby. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Jeffrey, how do you see the game?
I just want to know who I can thank for those 6.5 points. I love Florida. I think the 6.5. We don't know how good Georgia is, and I think Florida's going to beat them.
I like the way you say Georgia. Well, guys, that's what our experts have to say. Now it's time for you to be the expert and play our Ippolito's You Be the Expert contest. This season, be sure to visit our website, playingtowin.tv, and take a shot to be #1 against all the competition by picking this week's college and NFL winners against the spread. We'll be giving away Ippolito's $100 and $50 gift certificates to each week's first and second place winners So make sure you come back every week and prove your football IQ by being the best at predicting this week's college and NFL games. Ippolito's, a great neighborhood Italian restaurant. After the break, we've reached the halfway point of the NFL season, and the contenders have taken shape. Here are our biggest takeaways so far, next on Play to Win.
Today's show is being brought to you by your Atlanta Nissan dealers, Moe's Southwest Grill, and the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute.
At Beaver Toyota, we have a vehicle for everyone. Hundreds of pre-owned and certified Toyotas. Plus, we carry Honda, Nissan, Ford, Chevy, and Kia. We have what you're looking for, even vehicles as low as $59.95. Looking for a new car? No problem. Take a look at our huge selection of Highlanders, Tacomas, and the all-new RAV4. Did I mention all these come with a lifetime warranty and oil changes? At Beaver Toyota, if we don't have it, they don't make it. Come check out the all-new Beaver Toyota coming.
Take one. Pat, what's more exciting than cooking a great holiday meal? Eating it. Mr. Anthony, when can I dig into all this delicious food? Pat, enjoy yourself. We can't dig into this yet. This food is for the commercial. We got to talk about the holiday packages. Kelly, son, go to the house. Go to the house.
This is it.
Order your holiday meal right now at thisisitbbq.com.
Is that sweet potato pie?
On or off the field, we all have rules to play by. But what happens after a serious car crash? When the insurance company won't play fair? At Montlick & Associates, we know injury law, and we know what it takes to win. After all, we've been winning in our field for over 35 years. If you've been injured, we're here to help. Simply dial #WIN from your cell phone for your free consultation. That's #946.
I love that one.
I love it.
I love it. It's easy to fall in love with a new Chevy.
I love this one too.
And this month is the perfect time to see why.
Wow. I love it.
That's my next truck. Find your reason to fall in love with a new Chevy and get a great deal all month long.
I love it.
I'm gonna go buy a Chevy.
Get 20% below MSRP on all 2019 Silverado double cab pickups. That's over $97.50 on this Silverado. Or during the Black Friday sales event, get 20% below MSRP on other select 2019 models.
Today's Atlanta Falcons report is being brought to you by your Georgia Drive Chevy dealers. Chevrolet, find new roads.
Welcome back to Play to Win. When we look at that trade deadline on Tuesday, it came and went, and it didn't seem like, the Falcons aren't going to have any players changing uniforms. People have all the thoughts on it, but the only ones I care about are yours. Is that potentially a sign for bigger moves on the Falcons?
The house cleaning will come at the end of the season. You won't recognize.
Well, they have trade things are two-way street, Nikki. So when you have guys that you want to push off your roster, maybe for salary cap reasons, you have to have a team that wants them. So if it was Vic Beasley, you had to have a team that wanted to give the Falcons the value that was equally acceptable and take the cap hit for what they, what is going to be due, just like Devontae Freeman. So It's one of those things. It's like, hey, you're stuck with these players, but now these players know that, hey, you didn't really want me anymore. So what does it mean for your team when you become trade talk bait and you don't get traded?
What is that like as a player to know those talks are going on out in the media about you? I mean, does that just crush you, or does it just roll off?
I think it depends what season in your life you are, because if there's one season where you're young, it's okay. I don't have no kids, I'm ready to go, and it doesn't affect, it only affects just you. But when you become an older guy and they're talking about trading, you're established, your kids are established. So I think from the NFL somewhat behind the scenes in the house, that's what you look at. It's just different seasons of who you are, because it affects you in different ways.
I'm not surprised that the Falcons didn't make any trades. Like Bob was saying that, you gotta want, other teams gotta want what you have, and nobody wanted them. And I think that right now they're gonna be in salary cap misery when the season's over with, and you're gonna unload a lot of players then.
See, I never played football, but I've had wives put me on the trading block, so I
thought they just locked the door and changed the locks and just shoo.
What are some of your takeaways on the Falcons now that we're halfway through the season?
Well, I think the Falcons right now is soul searching. I think part of it is, who are we? And remember, the eye in the sky
does not lie.
Yeah, it doesn't lie, but it also tells the truth. So at the end of the season, no matter if you're on a good team or You're gonna let back to Nikki. Back to Nikki.
The eye in the sky does not lie.
No,
That's
it doesn't
the-
lie.
you know.
No, it doesn't lie. So what happens is each individual is evaluated. So when the cheering stops, the eye in the sky is going to look at you. They're not going to say what happened with the team. They're going to look at the individual performance that you had, and it's going to be either thumbs up or thumbs down. It's going to decide your future.
This has been the biggest disaster ever for the Falcons.
November and December counts for this football team. You still have division foes ahead of you. And I know we writing them off whatsoever, but I'm going to be optimistic here. They win there, they get an opportunity.
Jeff, I disagree with something, though. The worst experience ever, we went 0-8. We went, us during 96 went 0-8. So I understand. I mean, it's the worst feeling in the world.
What's the morale like? I mean, what are you playing for? Like, what is the locker room like when you're 0-8?
Well, you're just trying to get a win. That's but then you have to do the soul searching because you're looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, am I performing adequately? Am I doing all the things I need to do to be successful on the field? And then after you look at your own soul, then you look at the man next to you and be like, hey man, what you doing over there, bruh?
You're just looking for that one break, that one situation that bring you out of it.
Haters, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to just tell you like this, and it becomes what they call their haters and their locker room lawyers. Yeah. Them locker room lawyers, you'll see them sitting in groups in the locker room, everybody kind of chirping each other. It's so dysfunctional. It's really whack. It's just really ugly.
It's whack and it's ugly, and the fans still need to get to these games. You know, it's not okay to be fair weather. It's not okay to write the Falcons off, as we were saying earlier, because they will absolutely bounce back, and that's my optimistic outlook on everything. Guys, when we come back, Dr. El-Amin checks in with his player injury report. Stay with us.
I love that one.
I love it.
I love it.
It's easy to fall in love with a new Chevy.
I love this one too.
And this month is the perfect time to see why.
Wow.
I love it.
That's my next truck.
Find your reason to fall in love with a new Chevy and get a great deal all month long.
I love it.
I'm gonna go buy a Chevy.
Get 20% below MSRP on all 2019 Silverado double cab pickups. That's over $97.50 on this Silverado. Or during the Black Friday sales event, get 20% below MSRP on other select 2019 models.
On or off the field, we all have rules to play by. But what happens after a serious car crash? When the insurance company won't play fair? At Montlick & Associates, we know injury law, and we know what it takes to win. After all, we've been winning in our field for over 35 years. If you've been injured, we're here to help. Simply dial #WIN from your cell phone for your free consultation. That's #946.
We live with AT&T, and we are well past the honeymoon phase.
Occupado, Tom.
AT&T, what's this I hear about you advertising a 100% fiber network?
Only like a fraction of my customers can get that.
That's it?
You have such a glass half empty attitude.
The glass is more than half empty.
You need to relax, Tom.
Oh.
You need a little Tom time. You know, a little TT.
Stop living with AT&T. Switch to Xfinity today and ask about download speed up to 400 megabits per second, or even faster, up to 1 gig.
Come into Longhorn Steakhouse for steakhouse cuts. The mouth-watering New York strip, always popular Flo's filet, and the limited time 14-ounce Delmonico. That's how steak is done. Longhorn Steakhouse. You can't fake steak.
Today's player, medical, and injury report is being brought to you by the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute.
Welcome back to Play to Win. It's time to talk some player injuries. Here we are with Dr. El-Amin, halfway through the NFL season, and of course, we've got some unfortunate injuries around the league. We'll start off with J.J. Watt.
That's right. The superstar from the Houston Texans tore his pectoralis major muscle, which is his chest muscle, which is a really bad injury. He's going to have this fixed. He's going to be out for the season. But these are one of those injuries, if they don't really repair it the right way, this could affect him for the rest of his life.
Oof. Over at the Rams, Brandon Cooks.
That's right. He's out with a concussion. So typically this will take a couple weeks for him to get back. This is really going to affect their offense. So we should see exactly what's happening here.
Big news over at the Seahawks. Justin Britt, the center for Russell Wilson.
That's right. The center for Russell. He actually tore his ACL against the Atlanta Falcons in the first half.
Sorry about it.
Really bad ACL injury. So he is going to need that repaired. He's out for the season. And as you know, he's really protected Wilson a lot this season. So this is going to be very interesting.
I cannot believe this guy is still having this bad luck. Sam Darnold, first he beats mono.
That's right.
And now what's going on with him?
He's got a thumb injury, right? Compared to that, and pretty much they said this is going to affect him. Didn't practice much. He should play, but you never know with him.
How about just 2020 being a better year all around for Sam?
I hope so.
He's just had some rough luck, guys. When we come back, it's time for our lightning round and all of Jeffrey the Edge Schechter's picks. Stay with us on Play to Win.
Athletes of all levels experience more wear and tear than most. Stop playing through the pain. Get the proper medical attention you need from Dr. Elamine and the staff at the Orthopedic and Sports Medicine Institute. Our team includes specialists in many fields offering compassionate care and advanced treatments that will get you back in the game. From weekend warriors to athletes of all levels, we've got your back and shoulder and ankle and knee. Call today for an appointment or visit theshouldernation.com.
Own the tailgate with the new Georgia Bulldogs Big Bow Box. Only Bojangles brings the flavor to every dog's tailgate with chicken, biscuits, fixins, and tea. Dogs dig the new Georgia Bulldogs Big Bow Box. Bojangles, it's bow time, y'all.
Oh, I'm glad you found it.
Oh, we were just happy to get some time away.
You're the first couple to try our new bed and breakfast bundle. It's bed and breakfast in the same room. You wake up to the smell of coffee and bacon, made by a private chef, right there.
So we're sleeping in the kitchen.
Well, I'm sure you'll write it better than that for the review.
Stuck in a bad bundle? Get a great one. Bundle AT&T Fiber and DirecTV and get a $100 reward card. Limited availability may not be in your area. More for your thing. That's our thing. Call 1-877-ONLY-ATT.
Today's lightning round is being brought to you by Moe's Southwest Grill. Come in today.
Welcome back. It's electric, and it's time for the lightning round. Jeffrey the Edge Schechter, take us through these picks.
Well, Utah still might have a chance to get into the playoffs, but I think Washington puts an end to that this week. I like Washington plus 3.5. I like Virginia at North Carolina. I think Virginia should cover 2.5, win the game straight up. Georgia and Florida is the big game of the day. You know what the second big game of the day is?
What?
SMU at Memphis.
Defeated.
They want to play a New Year's game, and 8-0 SMU. When I was younger, SMU was a powerhouse, and then they got the death penalty, and they got caught cheating, and they've been mediocre to terrible ever since. Now they're 8-0, got a shot. I like SMU with the 5.5 points. In the pros, Jacksonville's alive at 4-4. They got a shot at that division. I like them at home with the 1.5 against the strange Houston team. Indianapolis finds ways to win. Do the pick 'em with Indianapolis. And Green Bay coach has the same concept as the Dan Reeves at Denver. Dan Reeves would stay close and hope for Elway to pull it out.
Right.
Green Bay stays close and let Aaron Rodgers pull it out.
All right, and that is the gospel, guys. Thank you for hanging with us for another week on Play to Win. We'll see you all next Saturday, 9 a.m. And I gotta say it, go Dogs! Sick 'em!
Today's show has been brought to you by This Is It Barbecue, Atlanta Peach Movers, and your Georgia Drive Chevy dealers. Chevrolet, find new roads.